In this package, back to school projects. Governor's wife splashes educational materials on inmates of Divine Home at Anna Fort. University of Uyo secures full accreditation for pharmacy program. Revised national guidelines on control of malaria during pregnancy launched in EU. Plus, menace of sea pirates. Police Commissioner seeks cooperation of ExxonMobil and traditional rulers. Details in just a moment. Good morning and thanks for joining us. My name is Augusta Essie. Inmates of the Divine Home at Anna Fort have received education materials from the governor's wife, Deaconess Martha Udom Emmanuel, as schools resume for the new academic session, presenting books, textbooks, school bags, boxes and toiletries to the children at the home under her back-to-school project. Mrs. Emmanuel reassured the children that their welfare will remain her top priority. She advised them to work hard, study seriously, be obedient to their teachers and elders, fear God, and avoid behaviors that can hinder their growth and future.
There are some out there living with their father and their biological mother. But as school is resuming now, they can't afford this. So God has favored you. Amen. That's why I sang that song. You are a chosen generation. Amen. So I do not want any of you to fail me or His Excellency. I'm here to send you back to school tomorrow.
Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Welfare, Dr. Gloria Des, and the coordinator of the home, Mrs. Imeyang, appreciated the benevolence and magnanimity of the governor's wife towards the home. They also applauded the better living conditions provided for the children, however requesting for improved security and facilities in the home.
The government of Akwa Ibom State for deeming it fit and necessary to build this marvelous permanent place for these children. And I want to tell the public that this is not the only home. In the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Welfare, we have 5 homes.
You touch the lives of families, you touch the lives of the elderly, you touch the lives of children, you touch the lives of multiple parents, you touch so many lives, the care, the provision, the food, the water, and everything.
Martha Emmanuel later spent time with the children, acquainting herself with their needs. The State Police Commissioner, Mr. Mutala Mani, has sought the cooperation of Ibano Traditional Rulers Council and authorities of ExxonMobil Producing Nigeria Unlimited in his drive to eradicate sea pirates and other criminal activities in Ibano local government area. The police boss was speaking when he paid a one-day familiarization tour to the hierarchy of the 2 institutions in Ibano. Livingstone Daniel has details.
Mr. Mutala Usman Mani, who was accompanied on the visit by top police officers, including Squadron Commander, Police Mobile Base 26, Idoro Road, Uyo, Mr. Samuel Raleigh, said he was at the palace of the paramount ruler to solicit traditional input and also sound out the royal fathers as people closer to the grassroots on ways of fighting crime in the local government area. He stressed that for crime to be contained in the country, traditional institutions must be ready to make inputs into policing. The CP assured the royal fathers that his officers and men are on ground round the clock to receive complaints from members of the public in line with the IGP's directives. Mr. Mani, however, urged the public not to hesitate to report erring police officers to the Police High Command, assuring that such report will be investigated and those found wanting disciplined accordingly.
I'm assuring His Royal Majesty that we are on ground 24/7 and we are at your service. We are serving you, not that you are serving us. So 24/7, we are ready to receive any complaint or call requiring our assistance in any part of the state.
Responding, the paramount ruler of Ibn local government, Ovong Eviong Achanga, said the people of the area are conscious of their critical role as host operations of international oil companies, which contribute the bulk of the nation's income and have remained peaceful. He called for provision of basic amenities, greater employment opportunities for indigents, remediation of ecosystem damage as a result of oil spillage to assuage restive youth. The royal father also appealed to the police boss to use his good office to bring an end to the menace of sea pirate in the area, to enable his subject to continue with their fishing business unhindered, and promised to donate land for the building of a befitting police barracks in the broad local government area.
A general and national phenomenon today in this country. But today, even a man can no longer be received at will. That is our farmland. Because of sea piracy. The DPU has tried a lot, other security people have tried a lot, but then we are not on the practice, it's not good enough. Now you are here, Mr. President, General Buhari said change. We want some extra change. Gabriel, my friend and brother has left. Now, Governor Montala, you are here. We want others change. Apply your own things so that we can also follow.
The CP and his team moved to Kwaibo terminal of Mobile Producing Nigeria Unlimited, where they were received by top management staff of the company. Briefing the Commissioner of Police on the workings of the company, the General Manager, Joint Venture Operations, QIT, Mr. John Atley, said the company produces 500,000 barrels of oil per day and cannot avoid to have any disruption in their operations. Mr. Atley said the insecurity in the oil-producing areas will be inimical to the economy of Nigeria and solicited continued police surveillance in all their platform.
We now have cut the gas flaring down significantly, because now we process the gas over to the natural gas liquids terminal over in Bonn. So it's we look after the environment, and we create a lot of income for Nigeria. That's why we need.
The General Manager Security, Mr. Yobami Lubihi, and the Public Affairs Manager, Mrs. Regina Odobong, said ExxonMobil is discharging its corporate social responsibilities, noting that the company has so far spent 16 billion naira on projects in its host communities, including the donation of 8 billion naira to the state government for the construction of a Ketibena road. Responding, the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Mutala Mani, assured the company and Ibn people that his command has mapped out various strategies to combat crime in the area, stressing that after the visit, the result will speak volume.
Ours is not ensuring security of lives and property. That is our business, and is what I'm assuring you that will never relent. Our need to continue the GM security and operations.
Livingstone Daniel reporting.
The University of Uyo Pharmacy program has been granted full accreditation status by the National Universities Commission. News of the grant of full accreditation status, which is valid for 5 years, was contained in a letter from the NUC to the Vice Chancellor, Mrs. Comfortable. The letter, signed by the Deputy Executive Secretary of the NUC, Professor C.A.F. Mafana, had, on behalf of the Executive Secretary, conveyed the result of the 2015 accreditation of the academic program of the University of Uyo. A further breakdown of the accreditation results indicates that the University of Uyo scored a total of 78.8%, covering academic content, staffing, physical facilities, library, employers' rating, and other criteria, which has elevated the University of Uyo Pharmacy program to the apogee of pharmaceutical practice in Nigeria. Meanwhile, arrangements have been concluded for the induction of the 12th set of University of Uyo Pharmacy graduates. The event is scheduled for Tuesday, 6th October 2015 at the Onyema Ugochukwu Auditorium, town campus of the university. The induction ceremony will be conducted by the Registrar, Pharmacist Council of Nigeria, PCN, Pharmacist N.A.E. Muhammad. The council had earlier granted full professional accreditation to the University of Uyo Pharmacy program, according to the Acting Dean, Faculty of the Pharmacy, University of Uyo, Dr. Arnold Igboseyi. The double endorsement of UNUYO Pharmacy program by the Pharmacist Council of Nigeria, PCN, and the National Universities Commission, NUC, are clear indications of the professional and academic strength of the faculty to meet the pharmaceutical manpower needs of the country. It was full of praises for the Vice Chancellor, Professor Comfort Ikbo, whose initiative, untiring efforts, sacrifices, and managerial ingenuity, he noted, have resulted in the accreditation feats of the faculty. We're still watching AKBC News this morning. If you're just joining us, we said earlier that inmates of the Divine Home at Tano Fort have received educational materials from the wife of the governor as schools resume for the new academic session. Presenting books, textbooks, school bags, boxes, and toiletries to the children of the home under her Back to School project, Mrs. Emmanuel assured the children that their welfare will remain her top priority. Take a break. We have more news for you. Do stay on with us.
Abrahamites, rise to the faith of greatness. Rise to the faith that with God all things are possible. Rise to the faith that as a people we can move beyond biases, ethnicity, religion, and gender. Rise to togetherness. Rise to chart a new course for us, our children, and a generation of Akwabomites unborn. Hold fast the confession of our hope that without wavering, for he who promised is faithful. Arise to the faith that Akwa Ibom was created to be great.
I arise to the faith that Akwa Ibom is destined to be great.
I am an Akwa Ibomite.
And I rise to the faith of greatness.
Metakanda, Akwa Ibomites.
Join us on the 23rd of September 2015 at the God's Will Akpabio International Stadium as we rise to march as one for a greater future for our state. Akwa Ibom, Dakada.
There is a land of great beauty and wonderful people. Here, Mary Sleso called home until she passed on to greater glory. Here, Lord Lugard lived and administered Nigeria. The hills roll like the waves, and the waves rise like the hills. A land named after God, Akwa Ibom State, the land of promise. Welcome to Akwa Ibom, the land of promise.
You're welcome back. The Department of English, Faculty of Arts, University of Uyo, invites the academia, policymakers, students, and the general public to the 8th University of Uyo Conference on Language and Literature, UCOLL, scheduled to hold from tomorrow to Thursday, 24th September 2015 in the Onyema Ugochukwu Auditorium town campus of the University of Uyo. According to a release by the local organizing committee on the conference, the opening ceremony holds on Monday, 21st September 2015 at 10 a.m. prompt. The statement signed by the acting head of Department of English Studies, who is the chairman of the local organizing committee, Dr. Ubong Josiah, noted that participants to the 8th UNUYO Conference on English and Literature are respected from all parts of Nigeria. And still on this bulletin, a workshop aimed at ensuring that all pregnant women in Nigeria are protected from malaria has ended in Uyo. The workshop, organized by the Akwa Ibom State Malaria Elimination Program in collaboration with Rollback Malaria Partners, revised the national guidelines and strategies for prevention and control of malaria during pregnancy, as well as diagnosis and treatments of malaria. Malaria is endemic in Nigeria and poses a major health challenge to all citizens, especially children under the age of 5 and pregnant women. Malaria infection during pregnancy no doubt poses substantial risk to the mother and her baby. According to the World Health Organization, 30 million African women are pregnant yearly, and 8.9 million women, which account for 30% of that figure, are in Nigeria. Akwa Ibom records about 300,000 pregnancies every year. It is against this backdrop that the State Malaria Elimination Program, in partnership with WHO, UNICEF, USAID, among others, came up with the dissemination workshop to revive the national guidelines and strategy for prevention and control of malaria during pregnancy. Case Management Officer, Nigeria National Malaria Elimination Program, Abuja, Dr. Namdi Nwaneri, in his paper entitled Burden of Malaria in Nigeria, Focus on Parasite-Based Diagnosis and Malaria in Pregnancy, said the essence of this seminar is to promote maternal health, improve on antenatal care, encourage the use of long-lasting insecticidal nets, treatment nets, as well as intermittent preventive treatments. The Akwa Ibom Broadcasting Corporation Promise Hunt, aimed at discovering and developing talents in the state, has debuted in Eket Senatorial District. At Eket, over 100 contestants participated in music, comedy, ballad, dance, poetry, and drama. AIN Opol reports that the talent hunt, which took place at Belengno Hotels, Marina Road, had its fair share of thrills and adventure. He reports.
Before the performance proper, judges led by Professor Wemedi Motakwo of the University of Uyo urged each contestant to employ good stage management and limit their performance to 3 minutes. He sued for discipline from the audience and cautioned against undue attempt to influence the judges. Those in music performed first with different styles, voices, intrigues, and demonstration. While some contestants were trying their best to carry the day, others were sources of comic relief to the audience.
It's all gone. Dreams are busting my head, busting my head.
I'm looking very, very long in here. My hope is lying. All I need is you here.
Wind to the beat. Laga. Dance over this. Dance over this. Are you feeling the
hidden treasure? Akwa Ibom, yeah.
Paper, so read me for your read.
Yo, I call him Mr. Antu AK.
Oh yeah. Okay. The way I look into your eyes,
never you underrate my person.
Oh. Today, tomorrow will not be the same. Looking so shining like a morning light. I love you, baby.
Other rib-cracking events were a mode of saluting the judges by contestants, funny voices like birds, interpretation in comedy, and ballad.
The book of Abraham talk about faith. From the day of John the Baptist, they will get talking in the yaya. The kingdom of heaven suffer fallen. They will get after fallen.
Kuna woge rimburum anyero ndiom kanudongo. Si anana yineka isi fa oge gongi ferekbo.
A physically challenged contestant demonstrated his abilities and captured the heart of the audience with his performance. The show was not all comic relief, as those that competed in dances displayed their talent by moving their bodies to suit the rhythm. Other talents were discovered in artwork as contestants drew sophisticated images in their stipulated time, while the likes of Emperor Sami, a guest artist, thrilled the audience. Earlier, the Director General of Akwa Ibom Broadcasting Corporation, Pastor Neti Ukbe, who was represented by the Director of Marketing in the corporation, Aldai Tobokpania, said a brand new Kia Picanto awaits the overall winner on Friday, 25th September, while others will go home with gifts.
It is our belief that at the end of this competition, which is going to be a yearly event, we will be able to pick out people whose talents may not have come out ordinarily, to begin to develop what God has given to them.
Certificates were presented to participants, while names of those that made it to the next round were also announced. Iyagino Paul reporting.
The coup d'etat in Burkina Faso has been condemned by the international community as well as many world leaders, including President Muhammadu Buhari. Mercy Kere tells us more about this and other stories in our national and foreign news segments.
President Muhammadu Buhari has condemned Burkina Faso's coup d'etat and has urged the defense and security forces in the country to work towards returning the country to full democratic rule through the elections which were scheduled to hold in the country on October 11, 2015. President Buhari has also assured the people of Burkina Faso that Nigeria, ECOWAS, and the international community will uphold their right to peace, freedom, democracy, and good governance. Meanwhile, the African Union has suspended Burkina Faso and says it will impose sanctions on the coup leaders if they do not restore the interim government. This comes after the military junta headed by General Gilbert Diendere, a former aide to the ousted military dictator Blaise Compaoré, who ruled for 27 years, seized power. The AU has given the coup leaders until September 22 to restore the transitional government or face travel bans and have their assets freezed. Egypt's President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has sworn in a new government. This comes a week after former Prime Minister Ibrahim Malab and his cabinet resigned following a corruption scandal. Sharif Ismail, who served as a petroleum minister under the previous government, has taken over as the new Prime Minister. Catholic Pontiff Pope Francis is in Cuba, where he will be spending 4 days before flying to the United States. This is the Pope's first visit to both countries. The Vatican has expressed hopes that the Pope's visit will bring to an end the Cold War between Cuba and US. The Pope has been said to be instrumental in the secret talks that has led to the thaw in relations between the two countries. The US had on Friday eased the rules for its citizens wishing to travel to Cuba or do business with its entrepreneurs, a move meant to improve the relations between both countries. Cuba, however, wants the US to fully lift its economic embargo, a step the Republican-controlled Congress opposes.
You can also watch AKBC TV News online by logging on to akbconline.org or follow us on Twitter at AKBC45UYO or on Facebook at AKBC Channel 45. And that's the package, but we'll take the recap. Inmates of the Divine Home at Tano Fort have received educational materials from the governor's wife, Deaconess Martha Odomi Manuel, as schools resume for the new academic session. presenting books, textbooks, school bags, boxes and toiletries to the children at their home under her Back to School project. Mrs. Emmanuel assured the children that their welfare will remain her top priority. Also, University of Uyo Pharmacy Program has been granted full accreditation status by the National Universities Commission. News of the grant of full accreditation status, which is valid for 5 years, was contained in a letter from the NUC to the Vice Chancellor, Mrs. Comfort Epo. That's our package. The next bulletin is at 8 p.m. Do join us then. Until then, just stay blessed.